There is an envelope in your hands tonight that you did not know you were holding. You can feel the weight of it now, not in your palms, but somewhere deeper, in that quiet place under your ribs where the breath catches without warning. You opened your phone tonight looking for noise. You came here looking for distraction, and instead, something stopped you. Something made your thumb pause. Something made your eyes lift. That was not an accident. That was the moment the letter arrived. I have been writing this letter for longer than you can imagine. The ink began drying before your mother knew your name. The first line was set down when you were still a thought in the silence between my breaths. And I have carried this letter through every year of your life, waiting for the day you would be ready to open it. Today is that day. You did not stumble onto this. You did not scroll into this. 1,000 other voices were calling for your attention tonight, and yet this one, this single message in an ocean of noise, reached out and stopped you. Look at the timing, look at the moment, look at the state of your heart when you pressed play. You needed a word, and here it is, sealed with your name. I want you to take a slow breath now, because what I am about to say is for you alone, and the room you are in does not need to know what is about to pass between us. There are letters you have written, my child, that no one ever read. There are sentences in your heart that you have stitched together 1,000 nights in a row and never had the courage to send. There are voicemails you have rehearsed in your car, in a parking lot, with the engine off and the heater running, mouthing the words to no one. There are texts you typed at 2 in the morning and deleted before the sun came up. There are confessions you needed to make at a graveside that you swallowed down instead because the wind was too loud and the people around you would not have understood. I have read every one of them, every unsent word, every unspoken prayer, every sentence that died in your throat before it could become sound. You thought no one received them. You thought they vanished into the dark. You thought your grief was a letter slipped into a mailbox with no address, a thing that would never reach anyone, never be answered, never be acknowledged. But I was on the other end of every one of them. I have a drawer in heaven where I keep the letters you did not know you were writing. The ones written in tears that ran sideways across the pillow at 3 in the morning. The ones written in the silence of a hospital waiting room. The ones written in the breath you held when the doctor walked in with that face. The ones written when you stood at the kitchen sink and stared out the window for 40 minutes and could not have told anyone what you were thinking. The ones written when you laughed at the dinner table and went to the bathroom afterward and stood in front of the mirror and did not recognize the person looking back. I have all of those letters, and tonight I am writing one back to you. So let me read it to you now. Let the seal break. My beloved, I see you, not the version of you that you hand to the world, not the smile you have learned to wear like a familiar coat, not the voice you use when someone asks how you are doing and you answer, I am fine, before they have finished the question. I see the you underneath that you. I see the one who is tired. I see the one who is carrying a weight no one in your house has ever asked about. I see the one who lies awake replaying conversations from years ago and rewriting them with the words you wished you had said. I see you, and I love you. Not the future version of you that will have everything figured out. Not the cleaned-up version of you that finally stops making the same mistake. I love the you who is reading this right now, with the unanswered text on your phone, with the bills you have not opened, with the relationship you do not know how to fix, with the prayer you stopped praying 3 years ago because you were tired of feeling like no one was listening. I was listening. I am listening still. If you can feel this letter pressing into your spirit right now, if even one word has caused something inside of you to soften, type I receive in the comments below this video. Not because I need you to, but because there are saints across the world tonight watching this exact same letter arrive in their own hands, and the moment you say I receive, you are letting them know they are not the only ones in the room. You are letting the ones who are about to give up know that heaven is still mailing letters. You are agreeing with the seal of this word over your life. Take your time. The letter is not in a hurry. I want to tell you something now that I have not said to anyone else in quite this way. There were nights, and you know which nights, when you wondered if I had stopped writing to you. You prayed, and the sky was quiet. You opened the Bible, and the words felt like they were written for someone else. You stood in church and sang lyrics you used to mean, and could not feel a thing. You drove home afterward in silence. You did not tell anyone what happened inside of you that day. You thought maybe the line had gone dead. You thought maybe I had moved on to other children. You thought maybe the prayers had piled up somewhere unread, like envelopes at the door of an empty house. Listen to me carefully. There is no empty house. There is no unread pile. There is no silence in heaven over your name. What you mistook for absence was timing. What you mistook for distance was preparation. What you mistook for a closed door was a sealed envelope still in transit. The letter was always coming. The letter was always being written. The letter was always on its way to you. But a letter that is meant to be opened on a specific day cannot arrive on any other day. And the day you needed it most is the day I made sure it would find you. That day is today. This is the letter you have been waiting for. I know what you have been carrying. I know what you have not said out loud, not to your spouse, not to your closest friend, not to the pastor who shakes your hand on the way out the door. I know the worry that wakes you at 4 in the morning and will not let you go back to sleep. I know the name you have whispered in your prayers more times than any other, and how long it has been since you saw a single sign that the prayer was being answered. I know the door in your life that you keep checking, the one that has been closed so long you almost stopped trying the handle. Hear me. The handle is about to turn from the other side, but I am not finished writing yet. So stay with me. Stay in this letter. Do not close it before the last line, because the most important word has not been written yet, and you must not miss it. There is a passage in this letter where I have to tell you something hard. You have believed something about yourself that is not true. You have read it like a label across your chest for so many years that you have forgotten you are not the one who wrote it. Someone else handed you that line. A father who could not love you the way a father should. A mother whose own letter never arrived, and who therefore had no language to write yours. A teacher who said something in passing that lodged itself in your soul. A friend who betrayed you in a season you were already bleeding. A spouse who chose silence when you needed words. A church that made you feel like there was a version of you they would love and a version they would not. You took their pens, my child. You let them write on the pages of you. And tonight, I am taking the pen back. Hear me very clearly. You are not what they said you were. You are not the failure you whispered to yourself in the car last week. You are not the disappointment your father pronounced over you when you were 11 years old. You are not the body you have hated in mirrors for 30 years. You are not the divorce. You are not the addiction. You are not the bankruptcy. You are not the child who walked away. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the day you broke and said the thing you can never take back. You are the one I have been writing to. For all of these years. For every single page. And if anyone else has ever written something across your soul that contradicts what I am writing tonight, I want you to feel my hand reaching across this letter and crossing it out, striking it through, marking it void. The handwriting of accusation against you has been cancelled. The signature of shame is no longer valid. The seal of guilt has been broken. The only letter that stands over your life now is this one. Type I. Receive again if your spirit is agreeing. Heaven needs the agreement. Your enemy needs to hear it. Your own soul needs to say it back. You are dearly loved. You are deeply seen. You are profoundly mine. Now I want to tell you why this letter is reaching you tonight, of all nights. There is a turn coming in your story. You have not been able to see it yet, because the road has been so long and so straight and so dark that you stopped believing in turns altogether. You started to assume that the rest of your life would look exactly like the last chapter. The same struggle, the same fatigue, the same waiting, the same hope deferred, until your heart got so tired it stopped lifting its head when the door opened. But the turn is coming. I would not be sending this letter on this specific day, at this specific hour, in this specific moment, if the turn were not very, very close. I send letters before turns. I have always sent letters before turns. I sent a letter to Abraham before the sun. I sent a letter to Joseph before the dream came true. I sent a letter to Hannah before the womb opened. I sent a letter to the woman at the well, before the water became something more than water. I sent a letter to the thief on the cross before the gates of paradise opened in front of him. I do not move suddenly without first writing to the one who is about to be moved. And I am writing to you now, which means the movement is at the door. I will not tell you yet exactly what is about to shift. I want you to keep watching. I want you to keep listening, because there are details in this letter that I am about to read aloud that will sound like they were written about your exact situation, and you will know, in the marrow of your bones, that this letter was not written for an audience. It was written for you. But before I read those details, I need to address what almost happened. You almost did not open this letter. You almost scrolled past. You almost told yourself, it is just another one of those videos. You almost dismissed it as something for someone else, someone more spiritual, someone less broken, someone who has not been where you have been. You almost let the cynicism win. You almost let the part of you that is tired of being disappointed talk you out of one more attempt at hope. I want you to think about how close that was. Now ask yourself, who made you stop? Who was it that whispered, wait, the second your thumb began to move? Who was it that softened the resistance? Who was it that opened that small window of willingness in your spirit, just wide enough for the letter to slip through? You know who. That was not coincidence. That was not the algorithm. That was not chance. That was the same hand that has been writing this letter for a lifetime, gently turning the page toward you, refusing to let you miss this delivery. You can call it many things, but I will tell you what it was. It was love. It was a love so patient it has been waiting at your mailbox for years. It was a love that would not let you walk past it again. If you can feel this, if even now you can feel it, say it out loud where you are sitting. Just say, I receive this letter, Lord. 3 words. That is all. Say it in the room where you are. The walls do not need to understand. The chair does not need to understand. But heaven will hear it, and the saints around the world watching this with you will feel the agreement of your spirit rising up to join theirs. I receive this letter, Lord. Say it again if you need to. I receive this letter, Lord. Now let me read you the part I have been saving. Beloved child, I want you to know that the season you have been in was not a punishment. I know it has felt like one. I know there have been nights when you have lain in the dark and asked me what you did to deserve this. I know there have been mornings you have not wanted to get out of bed because the idea of facing one more day of this exact same life was too much. I know you have looked at people whose lives appear to be working and wondered why theirs is moving forward and yours feels stuck in a place that has no name. It was not punishment. It was preparation. There is a wineskin that has to be made ready before new wine is poured. There is a soil that has to be turned before a seed will take. There is a wound that has to be cleaned before it can be properly healed. The season you have been in was not me forgetting you. It was me preparing you to receive what is coming next, without losing it. I do not give blessings to people who are not yet able to hold them. So I have been building you, through the waiting, through the silence, through the friends who walked away, through the seasons of provision that came late, but always came. Through the prayers you thought were unanswered, and were actually being answered in a different language than the one you spoke. Through the disappointments that, looking back, you can see were doors I closed on your behalf. Through the relationships I would not let happen, even though you begged me to allow them. Through the job that fell through the move that did not happen, through the conversation that did not go the way you hoped. All of it was preparing you for what is in this letter. There is a name in your life, and only you know which name that I am about to deal with. There is a situation in your life, and only you know which situation that I am about to address. There is a wall in your life, and only you know which wall that I am about to remove. You did not have the strength to bring it down. You were not supposed to. It was never your wall to break. It was mine, and I am breaking it. Even as you are listening to this letter, the breaking has begun. You will see the first sign of it sooner than you expect. Not in years, not in months, in the way you imagine months. The first sign will come in a way that feels small, a phone call you did not expect, A name that comes up in a conversation you were not part of. A door that opens in a room you had stopped checking. A gentle return of something you thought was lost forever. Do not miss the small sign, because the small sign is how I begin every great work. I lit the universe with a single word. I freed a nation through a single basket on a single river. I saved the world through a single child born in a single town no one paid attention to. I am not afraid of small beginnings. I am the one who chooses them. Watch for it. It is coming. But I am still writing. I want to say something now about your tears. You have cried in places no one has seen. You have cried in showers with the water turned up to drown the sound. You have cried in cars in empty parking lots before going inside to be the strong one for everyone else. You have cried in church bathrooms while people on the other side of the door were singing. You have cried while folding laundry. You have cried while driving home from funerals. You have cried while looking at photographs you cannot bring yourself to take down. I want you to hear this. Your tears were not wasted. Not one. I have a record of every tear you have cried in this lifetime. It is not a list of complaints. It is not a record of weakness. It is a sacred ledger, and every single drop has weight in my kingdom. Every tear was a prayer the words could not form. Every tear was a letter sent without paper. And I have read every one of them. Now I am writing back. Tell those tears, beloved, that the one who collected them is also the one who answers them. Tell those tears that they were not the end of the sentence. They were a comma. They were a pause. They were a holy breath before the next paragraph of your life. And the next paragraph, the next paragraph is being written in a hand that does not tremble, that does not fail, that does not run out of ink. It is being written in my hand, and it is being written for you. I want to address one more thing in this letter, because I will not seal it back up before this is spoken. There is a part of you that is afraid to hope again. I see that part. I am not offended by that part. That part is the part of you that has been hurt the most. That part has had too many envelopes returned to sender. That part has knocked on too many doors that did not open. That part has built a wall around your heart, not because you are bitter, but because you are tired. You did not want to feel the disappointment one more time, so you decided not to risk the hope one more time. You did not stop believing in me. You stopped believing in the version of your life where things finally turn around. Listen to me. I am not asking you to hope all at once. I am asking you to hope only for the length of this letter. Just keep your heart open until the last sentence. That is all. You do not need to commit to a year. You do not need to commit to a month. You do not even need to commit to tomorrow morning. Just stay open until the end of these words, and let me show you what I can do in the small space of a single message. Will you let me? Will you let me write a single new line across your spirit tonight, even if you cannot yet believe in chapters? If yes, type it. I receive. One more time. The third time is a sealing. 3 is the number of binding agreement in my kingdom. Father, Son, Spirit, faith, hope, love. The 3 is how things become permanent. 3 I receives tonight, and the contents of this letter are written into the record of your life. I receive. I receive. I receive. Now I will tell you what is in the postscript. A postscript is the part of a letter the writer adds at the bottom, almost as an afterthought. But anyone who has ever written a real letter knows that the postscript is often where the most important sentence is hidden. It is the line the writer almost did not say. It is the line that comes back to the writer after the body of the letter is finished, and it must be added before the envelope is sealed. The postscript on your letter says this: I am proud of you. You did not expect that, did you? You were waiting for instructions. You were waiting for correction. You were waiting for the list of things you still need to fix. You have grown so used to receiving letters of evaluation that you no longer expect a letter of affection. But this one is a letter of affection. I am proud of you. I am proud of you for getting out of bed on the mornings you wanted to disappear. I am proud of you for showing up to work on the days no one knew you were grieving. I am proud of you for being kind to the cashier when your own heart was bleeding. I am proud of you for forgiving the person who never apologized. I am proud of you for the prayer you whispered last week that no one heard. I am proud of you for staying. So many other people would have left, in one way or another, and you stayed. You kept showing up. You kept loving the ones in your house even when love did not seem to be flowing back. You kept choosing the harder, holier path when the easier one was right there. I see all of it, and I am proud of you. You may have gone your entire life and never heard a father say those words to you. Some of you are hearing them for the first time in this letter from me. Let them land. Do not deflect them. Do not minimize them. Do not say, well, he does not really mean me. Yes, I mean you, the one watching this, the one holding the phone, the one with the eyes that are starting to sting because no one has spoken to you like this in such a long, long time. I mean you. I am proud of you. You are my child. And in a moment, when the letter ends and you go back to your day, I want you to take this single sentence with you wherever you go. I want it in your kitchen. I want it in your car. I want it next to your bed. I want it in the office. I want it in the waiting room. I want it on your lips when the old voices come back and try to write a new letter of accusation over you. You are dearly loved by your Father in heaven, and your Father is proud of you. That is the sentence. Hold on to it like the seal of this letter is still warm in your hand. Now I am almost finished. But there are a few things I must tell you about what to expect after you close this message. First, the enemy will try to make you forget what was written tonight. He will come quickly. He will come quietly. He will come through a small annoyance, a minor frustration, a comment from someone who does not know what just happened in your spirit. He will try to make you doubt that the letter was real. He will whisper, "It was just a video. It was just words. It was just emotion. Nothing has actually changed." Do not listen to him. The letter is real. What was written in your spirit tonight is real. The breaking has already begun. He is panicking, which is why he will come fast. Hold the letter close. Read it again if you must. Come back tomorrow and let the words settle deeper. Heaven does not write disposable letters. Second, share this letter. There is someone in your life who is sitting tonight in the exact place you were sitting before you pressed play. There is someone in your contacts who has been writing unsent letters of their own, who has been crying tears in showers, who has been carrying a name in their prayers for years. You know who they are. Their face just came to your mind, did it not? That was not your idea. That was me. Send them this letter. Be the messenger. Be the angel at their door. Be the one who hands them the envelope. You do not have to explain it. You do not have to say anything more than, "I felt I needed to send you this. Trust me with the rest." I will handle the opening of their heart. You are now part of the delivery route. Third, and this is the last thing, the seal of this letter does not break only once. You can come back to it. You can come back to it in the morning when the dread tries to climb back onto your chest. You can come back to it at night when the worry tries to climb into bed with you. You can come back to it in the car when the tears begin to rise and there is nowhere to pull over. You can come back to it any time you need to be reminded that there is a letter in heaven addressed to you, written in a hand that does not tremble, sealed with a love that does not fade. This letter is yours, for the rest of your life, for the rest of forever. Now, before I close the envelope, I want you to do one final thing. Place your hand over your heart. Right now, wherever you are, place your hand there. Feel the rhythm under your palm. That rhythm is the sound of my faithfulness. Every beat is a sentence I have written into your story. Every beat is a promise that has not yet run out. Every beat is the proof that the letter is still active, the seal is still warm, and the one who has been writing it has not stopped writing. I am still writing. I will not stop until the final page. And the final page is more beautiful than you can imagine. Now breathe. Slowly. In. Out. The letter is in your hands. The letter is in your heart. The letter is in your life. And from this night forward, every time you remember that you are loved, every time you remember that you are seen, every time you remember that you are not as alone as you thought you were, that is me, opening the envelope again, whispering one more line, adding one more page. I love you. I have always loved you. I have always been the one on the other end of the silence. And the silence is over now. The letter has been read. The seal has been broken. The name at the top of the page is yours. Welcome home to a father who never stopped writing. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved.